Like I said earlier, really happy to see you guys here. So glad that you guys decided to take a chance to come over here and be a part of this gathering. And a lot of you, this is your first time, and some of you have been coming. This is our third gathering that we've had for this. And each time it's getting a little bit bigger, and that's the intention. That's what we want. We want to continue to see it grow, and we want it to be able to eventually in time be able to have this with our relatives and the people, and all come together. We have a big men's gathering, and we have members of those nations here. We're all the same people. We're all the same people. We just got divided up between these 4 reservations. And like my father said, this is the land that was passed down to him by his grandfather, and he farmed on this land here, and that's what we try to do right here is farm on this as well. But I also, my wife is Chelsea Luger. She's from the Turtle Mountain Chippewa and the Standing Rock Lakota people, and together we have 2 daughters, Aloe and Weston, a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. And so that's who I am. First and foremost is a husband and a father. I'm a son, I'm a brother, and I'm a relative to each and every one of you as men. All of you young boys and young men that I see you, I treat you like nephews. That's the way I see you. And you're welcome to treat me in that way as well, as an uncle that's here to support you. And all of you guys that are the same age as me, I treat you as my brothers. That's the way I see you guys. Even though I don't know a lot of you, I see you as my brothers. And all of you guys that are the same age as my dad and older, I treat you all like uncles. That's the way I see you. And that's the way that I learned walking in the community. That's how we are supposed to walk amongst a community, and we treat everybody accordingly. All of the women in the community that are the same age as my sister, then I treat them as such. All of the women that are the same age as my mother, I treat them as such, like an auntie, a second mom. All of the women in the community that are the same age as my grandma who passed on, I treat them as that. That's the way. And I encourage you all to think about your role as a churchyard, as a man. And that's the way I walk in the community. The other work that I do is a community health educator. And I travel on Native country, and I do a lot of work right here in Salt River alongside my wife and some other Native organizations. And in my journey of continuing on this journey of thriving and living well, through the himadug, the way of life of our people that I was so privileged to be exposed to, thanks to my dad and other people in his generation here that helped to restore that. I was introduced and got to know the soncki, the men's work club. And historically, this was used for killing. This was used for battle. And we'll talk more about the techniques. But this is a serious thing here. It's a serious thing, and it has a spirit. It's the spirit of a chitskiyadam, a warrior, a fighter, a protector. And that's what we had. Our warriors, our fighters, chitskiyadam, they were skilled fighters. They were athletic. They took care of themselves. There was a society. And they had gatherings just like this here, where they would gather, and men would have a separate place that they would prepare for war. And even when they went off into war and they killed and they took life, they just didn't come back into the village. They had to go through a purification ceremony. There was a makai, a medicine person that would determine if he was prepared to come back into the village because he had killed somebody. He had taken their life in battle. But he took life because he had to protect. That's what they were. They were protectors of the people, of the humachkam, of the a'ar, the children. They were protectors of the grandmothers, the elderly people, the cooker, the elderly. That's what our people did. We had to protect. And historically, you may know, we used to fight with the Apache. We made a peace treaty with them in the 1800s. We used to also fight with some of what they now call Colorado River Indian tribes, but now we all are peaceful people. So we put those days behind us. We don't have to fight each other and go to war and battle and kill. Because now as Native people, we're in a battle to protect our sovereignty, our indigeneity, our language, our ceremonies, our way of life. We have to work together in that endeavor. But that's what this is about. This, in my mind, as well as the mind of some of the men that are familiar with this represents protection. It's a protection of the people in a different way. No longer do we have to get out and fight and defend. But what we have to do now as a people is we have to fight against things like addiction, depression that's prevalent amongst our people, suicidal ideation that's unfortunately prevalent amongst our people, asuga monkey dog, type 2 diabetes that's prevalent amongst our people as well. Also aggressive behavior, violent behavior, domestic violence, sexual assault, sexual abuse. Those weren't things that our people had did. We learned those from the colonizers, the Euro-American settlers that came here and encroached, who have forced us to live by this way of life that we have to live today. Those things, we didn't do those things because we had respect as men for those that were not as strong as us. We had respect for our women and elderly and our children. And today, that's what this represents still to me. In my journey, in this life journey, picking up the soncki represents physical strength, one that's strong, but not just strong in muscles in your hunchbadag in your body, but strong in your ibadag, your heart, strong in your mind. This represents, in my opinion, protection of the oodham, our language, our himadag, our way of life, chiaj himadag, the way of life of men. It's a protection of our ceremonies, coming of age ceremonies and such, our food ceremonies. This is a symbol, it's a totem, that's what it represents. So I tell myself, as long as I made this, and when you make it, you breathe life into it. This is made from the hoitkam, the ironwood, the strongest wood in the desert. And you go over and you pick a tree and you speak to it, use your consciousness, your heart, your mind, and you tell it, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a piece from you. Here's my offering. Make some tobacco, speak to it, sing to it. And it'll tell you which branch to take. And this one, you see the dark part at the top. That's the ibadag. That's the hard part. And you pick a big log. This soncki came from a log that was probably about this thick, and whittled it down with the axe. And we'll talk about the technical stuff later, but this one, once I picked it and I breathed life into it, and I put an intention with my mind and ibadag, my heart, I put an intention as I'm making it. I ask it to give me guidance in this life, to keep me as a strong man, but disciplined man, and to have mental clarity and to have foresight, to have a vision of who I want to be in the future next week, 20, 30, 50, 60 years down the line. I have a vision for myself that I want to live to be at least 106, 7, 8, 9, 10. I want to be able to continue to wipe my ass when I'm 90 something. So I have a vision, but a part of that vision for me is about walking in life in a good way. That means I don't use alcohol. I don't use substances or anything like that. And I've been able to be strong in my age. I'll be 43 next week, and I'm stronger probably than I was in my 20s. It's because of the way of life that I felt like I could live. And the soncki is a way of that. It's a symbol for that. It's a reminder. I have it out. I have this in my garage gym because they're a reminder that I made an agreement with the great creator, not a creator, not a man god, a creator. I made an agreement that I was going to walk in a good way, and this right here holds me accountable. And if I go back on my word and I use my words to hurt people, or if I use my body to hurt people or things, that will come back to me. That bad medicine will come back and hurt me. For all of you, all of the young boys here, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad to see all of you young boys here. This is what we want. As young men, as young boys, you are needed. You are needed in this community. You are valued. Even though maybe you don't feel like that sometimes, maybe you've gone through hard things, some of you in life, probably harder than me. But you're here, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason why you're sitting here today. There's a reason why you were born. So you are needed, and this is why we're having this gathering, to give you guidance. And all of you men that are on your journey of sobriety, you're putting away substances, alcohol. You mustered up enough strength to wake up and say, you know what, I don't want to live this life no more. I'm tired of being hungover, tired of being out of my mind and depressed and not motivated. Some of you had that, and you mustered up strength. And it's your ancestors behind you. It's your relatives who went on to the spirit world. They're here. They're behind a lot of you. They wanted you to be here. They cleared the way and motivated you. They gave you a little bit of strength to come over and sit down and be a part of this gathering, because you're going to get something out of it for your growth and for your healing journey. That's what this is. This thing is healing centered. So I want to commend all you guys that you mustered up enough strength to get on your healing journey and put away substances and alcohol or violent behavior or aggressive behavior to be here. That's a good journey. It's hard, but you're on it. You might fall off. You can get back on anytime. Don't shame yourself. And all of you other guys too that have been on your healing journey, and you're here because you want to take your personal development, your growth to another level as a man or as a father. Maybe you want to be a father one day. Maybe you want to be a husband one day. And you're here, so I commend you guys. So at this gathering, we're here to lift each other up. We're here to tell each other good job. We're here to meet new guys that are on this journey. So when after a while you're gonna go around. Hey, if you don't know a guy, shake his hand. Say, hey, what's your name? Shapchugik, what's your name? Anya Napchugik, tell him your name. Tell him who your family is, who's your mom and dad, your grandparents. That way we get to know each other. That's how we build strength. All of us are getting together. Some of us guys here, we want to preserve what this means. It's a new meaning for us today in 2025. We had 2 gatherings before this where we had a lot of older guys come out, and they endorsed what was happening here. And before I started putting these together, I brought this up to my dad a couple years ago that I wanted to do this, and he endorsed it. Brought it up to a couple of other community leaders, and they endorsed it. They said it's good. We need to bring this back. No longer should the soncki just hang on a wall as arts and crafts, or sit in a box and put away in the closet. Now it wants to come out. It wants to fight. It wants to move around. That's its purpose. It wants to come out and do all this stuff. It wants to strengthen you. It wants you to move around. Once you pick it up, the spirit will come into you and teach you how to move. Teach you to move this way, move your head this way, jab this way, swing this way. It's going to teach you all of that, because remember, it's a spirit. It's a warrior spirit with it. And that's what we're doing here. We're building ourselves. So this is a new form of fitness. It's like our form of fitness, but it's also our form of combative sports. It's our form of martial arts. That's what this gathering is about. For myself, one thing is that makes me sad and disheartened in the community is to see so many men lost. To see so many men walking around the community with no purpose, no guidance. To seeing men that are walking around and taking substances, drinking or popping pills, taking heroin or smoking weed all day long because you're trying to numb out. You're trying to forget what happened to you back as when you were a little boy. Unfortunate things happen to a lot of people. And for me to see that in the community, to see our men hurting and choosing substances and alcohol over our songs, over running, over the soncki, it's really sad. But I have compassion and empathy for what these men have been through, and I don't judge. I don't judge and look around and say, those guys are lazy. Those guys, all they want to do is just drink. There's a reason why. People just don't wake up and say, I'm going to be an addict today. Yeah, I want to be addicted. No one says that. So for me, I have compassion and empathy for what people are going through. And this is why we're doing this here, because we have to create something. We're getting up here to move and exercise our body. And when we move our body, that's us. We're giving thanks for your health. You're giving thanks today. You got arms and legs. So that's sort of my personal view on the soncki. That's its new purpose for today, for me. And I put that out there for you guys to adopt this. And when you're here, don't worry about what happened before. You're here and now. You're bettering yourself now. Maybe you made mistakes in the past. That's gone. We need to move forward and have a vision, and this is an opportunity to better yourself, to make those wrongs right. So I want to encourage you guys to think about that.